Pups Save Friendship Day is the 6th episode in Season 3 of Paw Patrol, the 59th of the series, as well as the 10th 22-minute episode at the time of this. And this was the last episode to have Jamie Whitney as the director of the series, who had been doing it since Paw Patrol's first episode in 2013. He was replaced by Ted Bastian from this point onward, and still continues to direct the series to this day. Pups Save Friendship Day is considered to be one of the best episodes of Season 3, up there with Pups and the Winter Wonder Show and Tracker Joins the Pups, which are my top 3. Not only that, but it might be just one of the best episodes of the whole series, while this being another holiday episode. Sorta. It's technically a Valentine's Day episode, but it's just reworded as Friendship Day. So, this is probably the closest we'll ever get to a Valentine's Day episode. Good moments, character directions, the new characters, and just being a fun episode in general is the selling point for me. So let's go through why this episode was so good in the first place. We're going to start this off with... I don't even need to say it. You all know what it is.
Amigos and me, buddies and chums, we'll all be friends forever, no matter what comes.
Right off the bat, we enter with the song, the Friendship Day song, or the Best of Friends, whatever you want to call it. This is, in my opinion, one of the best songs in the series for good reason. Throughout the song, the word friend is said in different languages, and it makes this song a bit more unique, as well as each of the pups getting their own part of it. Sorta. Marshall, Chase, and Sky get their own singing roles, though the others barely do. Though for Chase and Sky, it was mostly a duet between the two. We'll get back to them later. And Drew Davis provides a really good singing voice for Marshall, and it's evident at one particular moment. I think Drew was a stage actor at some point, so he does have some experience with singing, so no surprise to get notes like that. And in my opinion, out of all the VAs who have voiced Marshall, Drew Davis is the one to portray the character. Gage Moreau comes at a close second for me. I just want to point out that we rarely see these sets of houses back here in the series. So for them to put those in here, I think is a nice touch. Just a little bit of expansion towards this side of Adventure Bay. I also love the interactions between Marshall and Rubble respectively in this episode. Just makes me miss not having these conversations in the newer seasons.
Thanks, Pups! It will be my delight to deliver them!
And we have our first new character of the episode, and that is the mailman. He's not that bad, honestly, despite him having that little thing where he puts more emphasis on his D's, though it does become a little irritating after a while. He's had a mild presence in the series since, appearing in a few episodes in future seasons.
Ha! No place is as friendly Foggy Bottom.
God, not you again. But seriously though, Humdinger isn't that bad in this one. I feel like this episode is one of the better ones he appeared in, despite the hate he gets from most. And I get it. He appears in practically every other episode, and it gets irritating at times. And around this time, in late Season 2 and early Season 3, is where he starts appearing in more and more episodes. Probably that could be why.
Foggy Bottom challenges Adventure Bay to a friend-off.
Isn't everything a contest between these two in the series nowadays? At least we know how this always turns out. And now it's time for everyone's favorite part of the video. Reviewing Marshall's elevator wipeout.
Wait for me! Whoa, whoa! That's our Marshall, putting the stamp in Stampede.
The stamps on the pups at the end are a good addition, though it does lose points for being a little too basic. Just your simple obstacle in the middle of the room. However, it does get points back for Chase saying the pun line and not Marshall, which is a rarity. The stamp pun wasn't bad either. I give it a 6 out of 10.
Speedy delivery, Pups. Thanks.
Speedy delivery. Now, where have I heard that before?
Speedy delivery!
Ah yes, good old Mr. McFeely from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Such a classic. I still can't believe it took me 6 years to realize that this was a reference to something.
I can do it. No matter what rain or snow or storms may brew, we pups will see the mail gets through. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, why does Jake Mountain in the shot look so weird without any snow? Is anyone else finding that odd, or is it just me? I almost forgot to mention that Everest appears in this episode, but as a cameo appearance. This could have been a good opportunity to include her. Fortunately, that never came to be. Why do they always restrict characters to the more important episodes? Tracker and Mighty Pups, for example.
Look at all this delicious carrot and cabbage candy. What could be friendlier than sending a balloon basket full of teeth-tingling candies to every person in Adventure Bay? Especially since Foggy Bottom has all the dentists.
Humdinger, I hate to tell you this, but Adventure Bay does have a dentist office. Pups save a tooth, might I remind you? Honestly, he needs to watch this show. He needs to watch his own show more often. Maybe he can figure out why most of his plans are pretty... what's the word for it? Abysmal. Like this one, which backfired immensely. Also, if this were made in the newer seasons, I bet he used one of his foolproof disguises to deliver this candy. I mean, since Adventure-based citizens are as dumb as a brick, this would actually work out pretty well.
Sneaky, quiet, like a mouse.
Woof. Woof. Oh. Woof.
Ladder up.
I'm not sure whether to call that a reference to pup food, just because the line is very similar to his main phrase in the same episode. You know, quiet as a mouse. I'll let you decide on that. I also love the soft singing by him as well. Definitely one of my favorite moments from the episode.
Bucky, got anything that can smooth out some smushiness?
You bet, Ryder. Spatula. I knew this would come in handy one day.
I really want to make one of those It's a Surprise tool memes, but I'm not sure if the spatula has ever been used after this episode. Might need to look into that.
Hi, friends.
I only put this in here because it made me chuckle a bit while we were watching this episode. The breaking the silence was a good part, and of course the stare down is the best. It's good, but not as good as Pups Pet Crew in Season 1. You may know this for the memes. And Pups Save a Joy Cook-Off in Season 4, which I will never understand how this hasn't been memed yet.
Oh, hello, hello, hello! I'm Miss Marjorie. This must be my lucky day. First I get a whole bag of friendship cards, and now I have visitors.
And of course the last two characters of the episode, Miss Marjorie and Maynard. To be fair, I like Miss Marjorie, as she's one of the few elders at the time that appeared in the episodes, as well as the whole series, and has a nice personality. And like the mailman, she has a good presence in the series, appearing in a few episodes in the future seasons. Though it is weird to have a raccoon as a pet, though. I actually found that it's illegal to have raccoons as pets in 34 US states. I think as well as Canada as well. Just something I found interesting.
And I notice you don't have a gift in return. That means I win the friendship contest.
Not so fast.
Why, that is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen.
This needs to be put on one of those Celebrate Too Early compilations. Also, I think Humdinger would be the only person in this series to call himself the most beautiful thing he ever seen. Kind of like a narcissist.
Wow, what a day.
Whew, what a day.
Oh, what a day!
You and I are friends?
Of course we are. Though, if you were a bit nicer, nice things might happen to you more often.
He should have really taken that into consideration, though. In this episode he does. But this is Humdinger we're talking about, so this isn't gonna last forever.
Maybe I'll try that, friend.
Note the keyword try, and 6 years later he hasn't learned. Sometimes. There are the occasional episodes where he's not the one causing the problem, and it's actually nice. And even in one upcoming Season 8 episode, he has made a new friend. So maybe this whole try to be a friend thing worked out after all.
Friends, friends, wait for me. We are all friends.
Yep, if I were in that situation, that is exactly how I would feel. Also, we're not going to note the fact that Sky was sent to the Shadow Realm not once, but twice in the same episode, within 20 seconds of each other. Did they have a vendetta against her or something? And one more thing to touch base on, and that is of course the Chase and Sky moments. And if you were a fan of shipping these two, be truthful, this was the episode for you, and I'm sure some of you liked the episode for this one reason alone, and I don't blame you. This was the peak for the ships and the fall at the same time, as after this episode, if I recall, these types of ships and these types of interactions would become less and less common throughout the rest of Season 3 and into the future of the series altogether. Though, except for the Paw Patrol movie in some cases. Like I said earlier, with these three eps, in my opinion, they were really the last good normal rescue episodes that we've had in the entire series. before being completely pushed aside by the sub-series in Season 4, which would take the mantle of the series going forward, while the normal episodes would slip further and further away from being the main focus of the series altogether, and decline in quality altogether, and would never be as good as the early days of the series. But that's for another time. As for Pups Say Friendship Day, it still remains in my mind as one of the best episodes from the whole series, with a really good song, character interactions, and again a fun episode overall, and one that will be enriched in the series as one of the best for years to come. And now I want to ask you, what is your opinion on Pups Say Friendship Day? Tell me down in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. As always, I will see you all again next time.